Welcome to Building Local Business, where we meet local business owners and learn how they are working to build their business around the community. I'm here today with Dave Warner, Executive Director of the Creative Outpost. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, Carl. How are you doing?
Oh, wonderful.
This is your first podcast ever.
This is a little new to me.
It's new to you. All right. You'll figure out at some point, right?
Yeah. Well, you can probably tell.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. I will keep you warmed up.
Yeah. Excellent. You're very experienced in this area here. How long have you been doing this?
I think I started doing podcasting about 18 years ago.
Oh, wow.
It was at a time when podcasts just weren't a thing, right? Mm-hmm. I was doing a show called Lens Flare 35, and I was interviewing the top photographers and filmmakers around the world. And because I was a photographer, and I was interested in talking to other photographers, and I thought this is a great way to learn, right? So I started with a couple of my friends to make it easy on me. So you know me a little bit, but we're not. But you know, it's not uncomfortable like you're walking in with some guy you don't know. So I started with a couple friends, and we just talked about photography, the gear they used. One was a sports wildlife photographer, and we talked about that stuff. And then I decided to go big. I wanted to grow the audience. I don't think at that time, you had social media, but it wasn't like it is today. So pervasive, right? Yeah, it was much different. And so there was a guy named Vincent LaForêt, and he was doing some remarkable things. A Canon 5D had just come out. It was the first full frame kind of DSLR type camera. And he revolutionized how these cameras were being used in cinematography and filmmaking and making major motion pictures. He was able to take this little, at that time, relatively inexpensive camera compared to the big ones they were using, and use it in positions and angles that nobody had ever thought of before. And I thought, I'm just going to track this guy down, and he's going to obviously, and he did. I found out. I found an email, I think, and emailed him and asked him. And he was the buzz everywhere, right? Mm-hmm. Asked him to be on the show, and he said, yeah, sure. And when we got on the show and we're talking about it, I said, how come you haven't been on any other shows, How come? He said, nobody asked.
Not a single person.
Yeah, no. So it was kind of cool because I was the first one to ask him and to get him on, and it was really, really interesting. So that grew very rapidly. I had about probably 30,000 listeners a month at one point in time, which to today's standards, that's nothing, right?
Well, that's pretty good.
It was pretty good 18 years ago, right?
Most people don't reach that, from what I understand.
Very true, very true. So it just grew, and then the reason it stopped was a multitude of reasons. Technology was changing at that time as it was getting better, but I was living out at Spruce Lake, and the internet service out there was it was like a nightmare. So I was having problems like that. I was trying to do live shows again before most people ever thought it through.
Right, yeah.
And I would get kicked off in the middle of the show, and the other guests would still be on there, and and then Chinese hackers got to the website.
Oh, jeez.
And they took it down.
Just destroyed it?
It just destroyed it. And I said, you know what? I've had enough. Mm-hmm.
So you were living out in Spruce Lake, you said. That was a while ago?
Yeah, that was about 8 years ago November. Yeah, so I was out there for 10 years and then moved into the city of Little Falls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What brought you here?
The city or the
state?
I was doing a thing called Art in the Adirondacks.
Okay.
Which was a news type thing, and I was covering the 12 counties of the Adirondack region. And every time I did something in Little Falls, it just blew up. I had more traffic than Lake George or Saranac or whatever. And I sat out the lake one day thinking, why am I driving over 12 counties to cover stuff? Mm-hmm. Everybody appreciated it because there was a ton of arts and culture, and is to this day in the Adirondack region. But it was getting to be a lot. And so I decided, why not just stay local? That was in 2017. And then I actually brought it to fruition and on July 4th, 2018. to where I brought mylittlefalls.com online and everything. And like within a day, I had the whole thing up and running and social media and everything.
Wow.
And I had used some of the content that I'd been covering in Little Falls as kind of the starter base of stories and things. So when it went live, it had content on it because I'd been doing so much coverage in this area.
Right.
But then that driving back and forth every day, it's 12 miles between the city of Little Falls and Spruce Lake where we were at. And but I was coming down here 4 times a day. That's 100 miles a day.
Yeah, that's
right.
A lot.
So that's a lot. So I just decided, okay, I want an office down here. And we started looking on Main Street and looking at spaces and just nothing fit. And I told my wife, well, why don't we just get a house and I'll office out of the house and we'll sell the house at the lake. And, we got a really good price for it and had us buy the house here and I officed out of there until now I've got this space.
Perfect. And now you're the executive director of the Creative Outpost. And is My Little Falls part of the Creative Outpost?
So we have products, right, that are part of the Creative Outpost. Initially, my idea was to have My Little Falls as its own separate LLC, right? But we dissolved that a couple of years ago, just bringing everything under the Creative Outpost. So, we're rebranding My Little Falls to the Daily Post right now. So we're in the middle of that kind of rebrand, mainly because you had the Evening Times newspaper here, and My Little Falls took the place of the Evening Times. And so its coverage area was Little Falls, Dallasville, Salisbury, Fairfield kind of area. But, our coverage area, the My Little Falls coverage area grew and grew and grew to where it's now Canajoharie, Fort Plain to Frankfort. And My Little Falls, well, it has a good brand name. It was like to me, it wasn't representative. So at the beginning of the year, I thought, a
little restrictive?
Yeah, I thought it was a little restrictive. And even though it was kind of fun, the reach here of what we have is we have about 500,000 people a year that go to the website. We've got the print newspaper, the Mohawk Valley Express, so we have people getting that. And so we have a huge reach. We're on Apple News, Google News, just everywhere.
Yeah.
It's kind of my thing, right? And so we changed the name at the beginning of the year. And so we have different products. For instance, the CNY Hockey Report that Scott Kinville does. He's got a website. He's got a podcast, everything else like that. He owns it, but it's a product of the Creative Outpost because we do so much work. Even D3 Hockey News, we do their website, and they're not in the area, but they do all of D3 hockey. My Little Falls is a product. So there's these pieces that are products. In reality, the Mohawk Valley Express is a product of the Creative Outpost. So even though we're co-owned, the name is owned by another individual and things. So yeah, it all somehow works.
Yeah, you have a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. There's not a day where it's not just massively busy, literally from the moment I wake up. And, there are people who they want their news right away in the morning. So yeah, you can schedule things at night kind of thing, but there's other things that have to be done. So every morning between, like 5:30 a.m. and 6 a.m., I'm already working, making sure everything's up, and it's what people want. And I used to have a lady who lived next door to me. She died, but she was 103 when she died. 103, I think 103 or 4. And she told me every morning I get my iPad out and I go to My Little Falls to see what's new and if there's something not there. And that was kind of one of the things that drove me to treat it like a daily newspaper. That's why the name, the Daily Post, which you are posting articles, right? So I thought the name was really appropriate. And we try to make sure that we have content every day.
That's great.
And it's getting a little... at times it's overwhelming. Just today I would say that we probably had about 8 to 12 stories up. I didn't really count, and they're not all features. Scott Kinville, he covers sports. He had the daily sports schedule. He had the results of yesterday, and he had 4 small stories. I think.
With school starting back up, there's
schools. It is crazy. This is the craziest sport because you have football, you have track and field, you have soccer, you have field hockey, you have. everything is going. So
Yeah.
to cover all of those in the valley like that it's a lot.
How many school districts do you cover?
I want to say, I know in the Bosse's district there's 11. I want to say that we're covering like 9.
Oh.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, we can't get
area.
to everything. Scott was he was at Herkimer Soccer last night, but then you can write stub stories from the box scores and things like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then he put out his schedules and things, and I forgot what I had. Last weekend I had covered a film that was being made in Dallasville at the fire station, and so that was my feature for today. And then I had some other things. I've even forgot what I did. You're already moving to the next thing. I mean, I'm already on today. I knew we're doing this.
Right.
I know that the Garlic Festival is tomorrow. I know that tonight I've got a football game. Tomorrow afternoon I have a soccer game. I mean, so it's.
It must be relieving to have some people under you now, though, right?
It is. It's helpful. I mean, the interns have been great. We have a pool of about 15 interns, but they're all back in school.
Right,
When the Herkimer Originals basketball season starts and things like that, we'll find enough of them around that aren't away at college or busy in high school on a sports team. Like one of mine is on the boys soccer team here at Little Falls. And so his schedule, and I think he's running track too or something. So he's very busy. So getting hold of these kids when they're back in school is tough.
Yeah, if you add sports into their schooling, it takes up a lot of time.
I know, and the parents are always like, I know some of them, and they're like, I'm just running from one space to another, constantly. So.
Yeah, my son plays football for CVA, so on JV. So he has a pretty busy schedule.
Oh, I can imagine. I mean, we do cover CVA. I mean, I want to say we had something about them yesterday or today, so I don't know which one. Like I said, so many, I just don't watch it all.
Yeah. So, well, let's see here. You were able to get a number of people and interns underneath you to take over some of the roles because you were probably doing everything before that, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I think I'm still doing a lot.
Yeah. It seems like you are. You're always busy. Do you ever have any time off, or do you just work all the time?
All right, you're trying to pin me down into being a workaholic, aren't you?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I get a lot of joy from all that I do. We slipped away probably 3 weekends ago to Lake George for the Labor Day weekend kind of thing. Yeah. So my wife and we had fun up there. We slipped away for a few days. Didn't tell anybody really. We just snuck off Thursday afternoon and came back Saturday in time for the University of Texas football game against Ohio, which was disappointing. Let's not go there. So I do, and I mean. A lot of people think, well, you're working all the time, especially family, and not true. I mean, when I'm tired, I stop, and so some evenings going home at 5:30, I'm done. I'm not covering anything, and it is a choice to cover things. I try not to leave anybody unhappy if they ask me to cover something.
Right.
I feel guilty, like if I don't get there or send somebody there or something. So I really work hard to try and make that happen. But sometimes you just have to say no.
Yeah, you have to keep track of your own health and make sure you have a good balance.
Right. I mean, I'm pretty healthy right now, and so for my age, and we're coming up on 4-year anniversary of being sent home on hospice. So I feel like every day is like this gift.
Oh.
So, yeah.
I'm glad you're healthy now.
Well, I'm old, so I'm not that.
Well.
But, I look at a lot of people my age, and they're, they're sitting on the couch. And I think if you sit on the couch, you die.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
That's true.
I'm not going to do that.
Need purpose to get by.
Yeah.
So, if you could only choose 3 roles that you had to fill in the Creative Outpost and had to let everything else go, what would those 3 most important things be?
I have to pick 3, huh?
Yep.
I know the first one would be interviewing the filmmakers really got me interested in film. and using cameras and filming scenes. And there's so much more to it than I ever realized. You know, you watch a movie,
Right,
you watch a TV
yeah.
show, and the level of effort that goes into maybe a 10-second scene is off the scale. I would like to be able to slow down and be able to shoot scenes like that people would just lean back and go, wow, that was just amazing. And as far as within the Creative Outpost, I don't think there would be two other things. I mean, the photography I love.
Right.
I have two ideas of kind of series of photos I would like to do personally. It wouldn't benefit the Creative Outpost.
Right.
I mean, it would be photography that I would do with my kind of style. And I've done a little bit of that, working on a little black and white and things like that. So I
awesome.
can go out and shoot something,
Yeah.
that is for the Creative Outpost. For instance, Cruise In by Mike has a car show here during the summer down at Rotary Park at the harbor. And so every Thursday from 5 to 8, they've got antique cars out there. And it's great to shoot that. And I thought, I want to do black and white, but I want to do elements of cars, not the whole car necessarily,
Right.
but like the headlight and grill. We don't know how to design cars anymore. They're all quote, aerodynamic. They're all, flying wedges.
Yeah, cookie cutter.
They're just, it's a cookie cutter. You could take the name off and nobody would know the difference between almost any of these cars today that we have.
Yeah.
And so back then, just every car was so different, so unique, so cool. And so I've been I took a portrait lens and really do a shallow depth of field and focus on an element of one of those old cars and photograph it, and then turn it into black and white and try and degrade the quality of the image to make it look like
More
black and white
authentic?
Film. Yes. You add grain in, it's ridiculous that we have cameras that are so great that I want to make the images look worse.
Right. And we have a lot of digital tools to help with that too.
Oh, yes. Yeah. It used to be called Nick Silver Effects, but now it's, I forgot what the name is, but it's the same kind of thing where you can actually apply a specific film grain to it, like Ilford or Kodak or whatever we used to use in the day. So it's very cool stuff.
That is neat.
Yeah.
Photography is not something that I am knowledgeable about, but I do have some friends that are very good.
I mean, we have done, one of the other things we've done through the Creative Outpost, not just with interns, but we've done community photo walks where we have told people sign up, it's free. We pick a location, we meet, and we walk. And everybody has a camera in their pocket today.
Right.
Everybody. There's almost nobody that doesn't have a cell phone with a camera.
Very good cameras too.
And they're great. And so we meet up at a location. For instance, we did Main Street one day. So we met at the top of Main Street by City Hall. And then the idea is that anybody can come. So you have any level. You have somebody who doesn't know anything, and you have some people who know something, and then you have people like me or considered a pro. And I tell them, you can ask me questions all the way, or you can do your own thing or whatever. And then we come back here. You can see a table behind me, and it's, there's a big area back here, and we all sit around the table, and there's a big monitor over here, and we edit. I have them edit the images, and if they need help, I help them, because you can edit on your phone today as well.
Right.
You don't have to have a laptop. Some bring a laptop, and then we show them up on the screen.
That's really neat, because it's like you get out of the house, you get some fresh air, and then you get to learn something.
It has been. We did 3 or 4 last year. And I've already got people nudging me saying, okay, when are we going again? Obviously, autumn here with all the leaves and stuff is like a prime spot.
Yes.
And I think probably Buttermilk Falls up here, the new park we created, will probably be the first one that we go to. But it's not, I was trying to think through how many things are there that we could photograph there. I mean, we've put in, the picnic tables ought to still be there, and a labyrinth is there. We put a new bridge in, and there's a waterfall there. So I was like, okay, how long could we spend there, kind of thing. So we'll see. But those are fun.
Right.
And then we've sponsored films, independent films.
Really?
We've helped raise money for them. We've had showings of the films here in Rock City Center. They've got a great spot there where you can fit about 70 people, and they've got a big screen, and we show the film there.
Oh, like a projector screen?
Yeah. And so it's a lot of fun. It's community. It's an event. It's something to do, you know?
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you're even more excited about coming up?
So would it be with the Creative Outpost?
Yeah, with the Creative Outpost.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
The
Creative Outpost.
Creative Outpost.
Well, you're involved in so many things.
Well, no, because it could be something personal,
Yes,
right?
right.
You know, I think I mentioned to you my interest in space flight and things like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I would use my keyword Boca Chica, but you know, and most people listening to this won't know what the heck we're talking about. But look it up, people. I would say one of the things we're trying to do. So we have a campaign coming up. You've seen the signs everywhere. Mohawk Valley Gives, and so there are about 400 nonprofits now in the whole area, which is a lot.
Yeah,
we're competing against them for dollars. We have a 3-to-1 match, and so that runs September 15th through the 19th. The 19th is what they call a day of giving, and you know, and whatever. So if you make an online donation to the Creative Outpost, let's say you give $100. I had a guy yesterday that heard about it, and he said, "Well, I want to give it to you now." I said, "No. I don't want anything now. Give it online." Right. And I said that $100 becomes $400 for us. So it's a really good thing, and
so they match it.
Yeah, it's a 3-to-1 match.
3-to-1 match. Okay.
Yeah, by Up Mobility Foundation and Community Foundation. So they're the ones that do the Mohawk Valley Gives campaign. So it's really an interesting thing, but it is an enormous amount of work. I mean, if you really do it right,
Absolutely.
And if you're kind of a 1.5-man shop like we are, the interns in a way don't count towards something like this. Although you will see that I have their personal stories that are airing. I started airing them 2 days ago. On the 10th was the first one. There are social media clips. There are clips going on Facebook. There are press releases. There are direct email campaigns and things like that I'm doing to draw interest to the Creative Outpost, because most people know My Little Falls or the Daily Post. They don't know that the parent company is really the Creative Outpost that helps pay for all this. And I don't take a salary. You know, Scott gets paid. Not enough, but he does. But I don't take anything. I just do all of this for fun.
Wow. So where can our viewers find these clips that you were talking about on Facebook?
So
and YouTube?
they're going on the they're not. I didn't put them on YouTube, because we have the Studio 25 podcast network. I have a main kind of summary video that will go up there, but the individual social media clips are not. So, we have a My Little Falls Instagram channel. We have on Facebook, obviously, My Little Falls on there. So there's 2 different versions. Like I put one up this morning with Evan Martinuk. And so he's one of they're all shining stars, really, that have come through the program. Evan's shining in a way that when he came to us, he was a senior at Herkimer High School. Very young, immature kind of thing. Or he might have come to me when he was a junior. Yeah, I think a junior. But anyway, as he kind of worked his way through the program, I listen to what they say. And if they have an interest in something, I try and make sure that I tailor what I'm doing into what they're interested in.
Right.
So initially, he really wanted to have his own photography business. And so we talked about that all the time. I took him on different shoots. I assigned him things to shoot, everything from the Dallasville Violet Festival parade to sporting events and things like that. And they would critique his images afterwards, right? And help him. Even as much as I hate weddings and shooting weddings and haven't done them for many years, I took on a wedding project for a distant family relative, but took him as the second shooter to train him, right? So that was a great experience for him. So today, I put up he came in here, he sat in your chair where you're sitting right now, and he did kind of a testimonial about what that meant. But he, at one point, said to me, I love the photography and all, but I really want to be a real estate agent. And I was like, okay, Evan, don't screw with me.
Well, real estate photography is a pretty big thing.
It's a big thing. And so he had learned how to do photography, but he really wanted to be a real estate agent. So he started at Herkimer College as a freshman, and he's telling me this. And so he was shooting Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs game, live streaming it, working one of the cameras. And he said that to me, and I said, don't tell me that unless you're dead serious about doing it. And he said, no, I'm really serious about this. I connected him with Brandon Mosier here in Little Falls with River Hills Realty. Yep. And that kid, he's still 18. He'll be, I think his birthday was in November, so he'll be 19 in November. The kid is just kicking ass. He's a licensed real estate agent now. Just bought an older Audi A4, white, beautiful looking car from the money he's made from real estate. I mean, he's going to be a phenomenal success here, all because he made the mistake of telling me I'm interested in real estate, and I connected him with people and made that happen for him. So that's
great.
And so his story today up online is a testimonial about how the path through Creative Outpost has been a successful one for him and his career and his life.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's really important to get connected with people in the industry who know a lot more than you do.
Yeah.
And can teach you some things.
So. Oh, yeah. Well, Brandon's teaching him an awful lot. So.
That's good.
Yeah. Good. No, he's doing well.
All right. So let's see here. So
you have a list. We didn't go over this list, so I have no idea what you're coming up with. No, we didn't go over the list.
It's just some rough notes here.
Rough notes, all right.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was getting into. I mean, I watched podcasts before,
don't know what you're getting into.
I've never been on air. I've never, recorded anything. I never tried to do anything like that. Never been a podcast host. So this is
Well, just think, I've talked for 27 minutes.
Has it been 27 minutes?
It's been 27 minutes. I knew you wouldn't know that. So
no, I had no clue. I thought it was closer to 15, to be honest. So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think we covered a lot of great things. I guess I would.
Well, what about you? What about you? I mean, I talked for the whole time.
Me?
Yeah. What are you wanting to do with the podcast? I mean, what's your point?
So my thought process behind the podcast is to meet with local business owners and learn how they're building their business, what challenges they face, how they overcome their challenges, and hope that the audience can learn something from that as well. So
yeah, I mean, that's a good goal because there are. A lot of people have gone through a lot of stuff that can really help others.
Yes.
And I think a podcast is a great way to get that out.
Right.
Because, when you've had a number of businesses like I have, you've made a lot of mistakes. And, you can talk about those and you can tell people this is how I overcame that mistake.
Yeah.
This is what I did.
Right.
I mean, I think it's I'm proud of the fact that we have grown an audience from, July 4th, 2018 to today for the Creative Outpost product, My Little Falls, the Daily Post, that we've grown it to almost 500,000 people.
Yeah, you guys are doing great.
Yeah, well, we're in a city where there are 5,000 people here.
Yes, yeah.
That means that we have a reach, and there are a lot of expats, Little Falls expats that are out there and things like that. But yeah, so we're proud of that. We're proud
I think
of what we've done.
tourists as well would be
tourists. I mean, we try to, we maintain the city's website here for the city of Little Falls. So this is littlefalls.com. So, there are a lot of quiet things behind the background that the Creative Outpost is responsible for. Even the Youth and Family Center here, formerly the YMCA, we maintain their website and their social media presence. And then there's others. I won't name some of the other ones. Some I can, somebody I didn't. But, the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs.
You can find them on Studio 25, all the podcasters, right?
No, we don't list some of them. Some of them are businesses that we help out,
Understood.
It's not the business we want to be in, but if you I was building websites with a text editor in the late 80s, early 90s, and so I kind of been around for a bit.
Changed a lot since then, but
just the
fundamentals are there.
Yeah, they are. Now I'm glad I don't have to write code.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't even learn how to.
Yeah, it's gotten,
I tried. It's a little too much for me.
It's gotten difficult. I mean, we have an app for what we do, My Little Falls app, and of course I need to update it to the Daily Post now, and there's some other changes and changes of copyright. So, and it's been 4 years since I put out a version because if it's working, why change it? Right. Oh my God, it's so different now, and I'm like, all right, I have to tackle this. I don't want to hire it out because I don't like spending the money like that, hiring a programmer and things like that. So I'll struggle through it, and if I get stuck, I know a guy.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it's just as much work directing somebody to do it how you want it than
Exactly.
it is to just do it yourself.
Exactly. But that's such a horrible way to be. That's people don't listen to that.
Yeah.
Don't take on everything yourself because you think you're the only one that can do it. I mean, sometimes you have to give up and let somebody else take a shot at it and then critique later on. I've learned that much in this.
Yeah. Is evolving technology one of the biggest challenges that you faced, or is there something even more challenging that you've had to go through?
I think everybody talks AI, and it's almost getting to the point where I'm just tired of hearing it. But I think that is evolving so quickly that you have to integrate it into what you're doing on a daily basis and see how it can make you more productive. And so I know that I'm more productive today because of it. Yeah. And I'll be that way and continue to be more productive until it kills me.
Right.
So until AI kills all of us. So so I'm going to use it until that point, and then after that, I won't know.
Yeah, well, who knows what'll happen next?
I don't know. I don't have a good feeling about it, to be honest.
Really?
I really don't. Yeah. I think I'm with Elon Musk on that, where I think it poses a great danger. And one of the things when you talk about space flight and things like that is, how come we haven't heard from anybody else, right? Are there other people out there? Why haven't we heard from them? And there's that hypothesis that, and I have totally forgotten the name of it, but there's a name for it, where either they developed nuclear weapons and destroyed themselves, or they developed AI and it destroyed biological beings, and that what is left wouldn't even pay attention to us, doesn't even care about us. So there's Yeah, it's
fascinating to think about. There has to be other planets that are inhabitable, like
you would think.
There's a lot of space out there.
There's billions of planets out there, and life doesn't have to be. I mean, I think I told you that another silly, crazy thing I'm doing is trying to write a novel, right?
Yes, you did mention that.
Yeah, but it's science fiction. But I'm so tired of science fiction of today, which is, there's all these aliens out there, and their behavioral characteristics are the same as ours.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like alien. There's a reason that word is used. We would not be able to connect almost probably at any level. So,
right. Yeah. I think about it like, if you're in the forest and you start walking in one direction, you walk blindly and don't know where you're going, and then you try to do it again in the same exact way, and you're never going to get there. So the way that life evolves is kind of like follows different paths like that.
It's like that. And if you were on one of those paths in the woods and somebody else was on another path, and you met them, by the time you met them after eons or whatever, even if you had the same starting point, you would be nothing like whatever that was.
So disconnected from where you started.
Yeah, so it's something to think about.
That's neat.
I like thinking about that stuff. It's kind of fun stuff.
Yeah. Lately, I've been just trying to think about where I'm going tomorrow.
Where are you going? Well, it's, I just take it day by day. And I wake up in the morning, I look at the calendar, and I kind of think about what's coming up tomorrow so that I can pace myself the day before. But by Sunday, I mean, I know what Sunday will bring for me.
Right.
I'll be processing all the images from, the football will have to be done tonight, but the Garlic Festival on Sunday and the film that I shoot, and then the soccer game images the afternoons, that will be my Sunday. And then Monday we'll start into it again. That's when the heat of that campaign, Mohawk Valley Gibbs campaign, starts this Monday morning. Right. So I'll be focused on that all week.
How important is it for you to have a structure like that where you know what you're going to do each specific day when running the business?
It's totally, you can't live without it. I have a shared calendar with my wife because she's the mayor here of Little Falls. And we have one car. we were like, we're not going to get two cars
right.
and have another car payment because her job pays her $500 a month before taxes. $461 after, if you want to know.
That's all the mayors get paid, huh?
Well, that's all this one does. You could go to Herkimer and make $70K, but that's a whole other story. But yeah. So anyway, it's like, so we wanted to be, we're not rich people. This is community service. And so we didn't want to pick up another car payment.
Yeah.
And so we manage that calendar. We live by that calendar to the minute every day. So I guess that might be why I'm more focused on it than maybe a lot of people. But, I live by that, and I live by the inbox.
Yeah.
Because the tasks that I need to do are in my inbox. That's why I always tell people, email me.
Right.
Because as I do things, that email gets deleted out of my inbox, and that's my to-do list.
Gotcha.
Right? The calendar is where I need to be. The inbox is what I need to do.
Yeah.
And that keeps life very simple. You can get it on any device. No matter where you are, your phone, your iPad, whatever you've got, you know those two things, and you can stay organized.
That's true. I do know, however, some people have a problem with it, email becoming a distraction. It takes them away from the work they're supposed to do, and they just they check their email, they scroll, they look at their metrics online.
Well, then meter yourself. Set aside, like when I walk in here, I check email. And then I start working on projects. I don't check it again for whatever that time period is where I know I need to get this item done by this time.
Yeah.
And when I'm done with that, I go look at my email. And, when people say, I get junk all the time, you can stop the junk from coming in. There are a lot of different ways to do that.
Yeah.
And so I very proactively hit unsubscribe if I'm not interested to it, or, filter it somehow. If it's, the Nigerian king is constantly after me for the millions I've won. I've ignored this guy for like 30 years. So he's probably got the money sitting there for me anyway.
Yeah, well, it's just gaining interest. You'll get there one day.
Yeah, I'll get there one day. So yeah, it's just having some discipline, I think, in how you approach what you have to do. And I think I'm pretty productive. And I get frustrated when I don't get the things done on that day. And I've learned to tone it back a little bit, my expectation about how much I can get done in a day, so that I don't go home frustrated, right?
Yeah.
So I say, look, I know I can complete this, and this. And I would love to complete that thing and this other thing.
Right.
But if I don't, I'm fine. So it's just that, managing expectations and trying to, we've got all this different technology coming out for, managing your life, your business, or whatever. And you know what? Just managing those tools is stressful.
It's a full-time job now with software development and stuff. You have the software that helps plan and organize people's progress, but at the same time, you have to have somebody managing that and making sure that everybody's held
tickets
accountable to it.
When I was in Austin, I was CEO of a company, and we were doing air traffic control simulation systems, and I had about 50 programmers working for me.
Wow.
Some of them weren't even programmers; they were PhDs, and they taught themselves to program in order to take what their thinking was and make it work with code. So they taught themselves. Well, we were dealing with flight characteristics of aircraft. So how do you, at that time when you didn't have the number of pixels you could put up on a screen, project on a screen as you do today, say you have an aircraft that's turning what's called a 12-mile base. Well, how many pixels with a projector of that period of time in 1993 or 4, how many pixels is that thing at 12 miles, right? So it could be like 8 pixels, right, with the technology that we had.
Yeah.
So how do you get somebody who's standing in a simulated control tower to look at that and know that it's a C-130? And that has to do with the physics of how a C-130 flies. There's a characteristic. There's a amount of time that it takes to make a turn to final. There's all these different things. And so I brought in a bunch of PhDs to get the physics right on aircraft flight. So that because we had so few pixels to look at different distances, their brain would tell them that's a C-130. They would know
interesting.
that just because of the way it behaved.
Yeah, and not only how can you tell, but how do you measure it and display it in a way that you can tell?
Yeah. So it was fun stuff.
That's neat.
Applies to this day, even a lot of it. So
Well, I'm glad smart people are on that problem.
well, you know, they haven't rolled out as much as they should, as fast as they should. So there's a real. Since Reagan fired the air traffic controllers, they've had nothing but an air traffic control shortage. So it hasn't gone away, and that was in 1980 something.
Wow.
I want to say 82. Rings a bell. And I was working as an air traffic controller then, but I was in the military. Yeah.
Oh,
Got a phone call.
Thanks for your service.
You're welcome. From San Antonio approach control that said, we've been fired. We're off the air. You got it.
Wow.
And then like 100 aircraft called us, and we were like, oh, crap. We had no idea who they were, where they were, and it was sorting it out. And that day, the military took over the skies in the United States, and nobody got hurt. So.
Very interesting.
Good stuff.
Very
Whole other
interesting.
podcast, maybe. No. You need to get other guests in here. You need
Yeah. I will, but I mean, we could go on forever with your history. It sounds like.
Yeah. I usually don't talk about it. Yeah, nobody ever, I'm typically on some other podcast, but as a co-host and not typically a guest. And so, although, Tiffany, but she didn't, Tiffany, in that one that you said you watched.
Yep.
Tiffany and Friends, she didn't have a subject, so I ended up speaking again. So I don't mind that. It's all right.
Well, you're a perfect character for it.
Well, look forward to the next shows because
Yeah.
you should get some interesting people in here, and I think it'll be fun.
I do have 2 people already in mind, so
Awesome.
local business owners. So
Awesome.
Looking forward to that, and I definitely hope to have you on again. We can
All right.
get deeper into those
All right.
topics.
And this is where you sign off.
Yeah.
You look into the camera and you say, hey, everybody, thanks for joining.
Hey, yeah, perfect. Thank you for joining, everybody. I've had a great time talking to Dave Warner here, and we're really excited about the Creative Outpost, what they're doing for the entire region, and you should check them out.